Hey there, y'all. Disney D Prince here today with another doll unboxing. Today I have 4 out of the 5 of the Mermaidz doll. Mermaidz. Now, these are very cute. They are big headed dolls. They do have the glass eyes. They are very similar in the face to Live dolls. And I think they're made by Spin Master, but no, these are MGA. Okay, so these are the same people that bring you Bratz, which is kind of surprising because I don't see them do a ton of glass eye dolls. A lot of big head dolls, yes, but not a ton of glass eye dolls. I was expecting these to be by the same people that did the. Oh gosh, what was that line called? It'll come to me later. But these are very cool. Let me show you the options that we had. So there are these 5 dolls. The only one I didn't pick up is this one. And I'll get to that in just a minute. Because these girls are expensive. These girls retail for $36, and they don't have legs. And their tails are not articulated. Their arms are. Their arms are articulated, their wrists are articulated, and their tail fins are articulated. But the actual, like, tails themselves are not articulated. So, I was not willing to pay the full 36 that they were at. Now, all 4 of these I picked up from Walmart for $20 each. They did have the last one, and I was very tempted to pay full price for her because I did save like $16 on each of these, but I thought, you know what? No. She's very pretty, but I didn't need her that badly to review this series. So all of these have very kind of different vibes, which is good, but it's also kind of like, what theme are we going for? Are they supposed to be music dolls? Are they supposed to be fashion dolls? Because not all of them kind of look like they're following the same theme. And they're all kind of just randomly mermaids. I don't know. But they do have a color change tail. This part is supposed to color change, which is fine. But these dolls are not really, like, the accessories aren't waterproof. Like, the clothes are not made out of waterproof material. So, I don't know. Like, the hair doesn't seem like it would hold up real well to water. So, that's why I'm kind of hesitant to be like, well, that's a cool feature, because it's really not. So, what we have here is the first one, which is Shell Nell. She is a stylist searching for whatever shines brightest. And we have her UPC right there for anybody who's looking for her. These are semi-new, but not completely new. These do have a handy-dandy pull tab down here at the bottom. I'm not sure what's in here because it doesn't look like there's anything in the bottom. So it's got the quick guide and then the MGA little toy guide, but there's nothing else under there. And I'm like, why did I have to open this for that? That seems weird. It's almost like a, haha, gotcha, you were supposed to have something else, but you're not really getting anything else. So, I don't know. So we're just going to hit it with our scissors to try try to get this open in a reasonable time. I thought I wouldn't need my box cutters for this because it had the tab. I am mistaken. I'm going to need my box cutters most likely before I do the next one. Okay. Alright, we're just going to tear this off, I think. Yeah. Alright. Gotta love this. We're just not gonna come out. Okay. So here she is, out of the box. Very pretty. I don't expect anything less from MGA. I do expect more sometimes, because it just seems like not articulating these tails was kind of a mistake on a doll that they charged this much for. But we are going to get our doll off of its little, whatchamacallit? Try to do this as quickly as possible. There's a lot of staples on the back of these, y'all, which seems kind of unnecessary. But the doll is like displayed kind of half out of the box, which I find kind of funny, but at the same time, like, it's very random because, like, why was that necessary? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder why they do the things they do as doll companies. But, you know, everything's designed to be eye-catching. Really, that's what it comes down to. But we'll see what she's really like when we get her out of the box. I think we got... Oh, no, I guess we missed that one. Kind of surprising. Okay. Oh, and there's even more that are attached. That's wonderful. We did all that cutting, and we only really detached some of this? Really? How many things really need to be stapled in? That's what I want to know. Okay, I'm going to try to just cut from the front this time, I think. It's going to be a little easier. So here is our purse. It does have her name on it, Shell Nell, so I'm guessing it's supposed to be pronounced like Chanel, since that's very obviously a Chanel perfume bottle ripoff. So let's see what we've got, really. We're gonna try to get her head off as easily as possible. Oh, look, there's a freaking staple that goes through her top ponytail. God bless America, all right? Wait, what? Why? Why is that necessary? That's a weird one, y'all. Like, I've never seen that happen before. Like, you're literally gonna make me risk cutting the rubber band that's holding her hair together? Like, why? Okay. So, here she is out of the box. A very pretty face. Real eyelashes. Neck articulation. A surprise articulation right here. So we do have bust articulation, which I kind of love. And hip articulation, which is wonderful. So it does seem even more obvious that they kind of shat the bed on that. So let's see why this is not. So there is a piece of the whatchamacallit that's under there. I don't know how that's supposed to come out, considering it's like under the torso. Let's see. Let's look at the instructions and see if it's supposed to come apart. Standing, draining the doll. Okay. Removing doll's hand. No. Washing doll's hair. Okay. Interesting. So it's supposed to stand with the fin. It doesn't really stand with the fin. I mean, it kind of does. If you position it just right, it'll stand up. But that does not seem like it's going to stand very long, and really, like, it's not super stable. But it's very cool. But I'm really concerned about how I'm supposed to get this out. I think I've seen people that swap the tails, because it's not, like, you know, done on there. Because see what I mean? It is inside that that joint. So that's, let me see. Because it doesn't go completely around, and it doesn't come off. It doesn't feel like it comes off, at least. But I mean, maybe it's supposed to. So that part came off. I don't think it was supposed to, really. But you can separate from that joint. And it doesn't look like I just broke the doll, so that's good. But what I want is to get this thing out. Because I don't want to just leave this little thing in there. Let's see, maybe I'll just use my little grippy. Okay, so I did just have to pull it out like that. That's not helpful. But we do know that we can take this out. And it does just kind of pop right back in. So that's nice. So, now that we've actually got all of the packing off of it, let's take a look at the doll. So, she's very pretty. She's got some earrings, she's got a necklace that are both in like an ice blue. This is actually gloves, not attached to the jacket. So that's kind of cool. Because I feel like I could use this jacket on a few more different types of dolls, because it has a little bit of room in the sleeves still. And it's kind of designed to be a shrug. But let me show you guys. And like most MGA dolls, the hands do come out just like that to make getting the dolls dressed and undressed easier. Let me show you what she looks like as far as articulation without the little shrug. So she does just have some basic articulated elbows. Nothing crazy. It's not double jointed or anything like that, which makes me a little sad. I do like how you can almost make her sit, but not quite. And if you look, she does have some natural curve to her tail, which makes me even more irritated they didn't put a joint right there to make it fully articulated. Because you really do lose all of that. Because when you try to like sit her up, like this is as far up as she goes when she's like laying down. Like she can't do like the little mermaid pose because she doesn't go that far back. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just on the wrong side of articulated. Like, I would have rather have had an articulated tail than the chest articulation. I appreciate the chest articulation, but I would have rather had the tail. And she does have a little, whatchamacallit, bralette painted on, as you can see. So you can take that off with some acetone. And then her accessories come out really easily. So there's not hooks in her ears like there are on some of the dolls, which is nice. And her necklace just kind of snaps off. So this is what she looks like without any of her accessories. She's still cute, actually, without all of them, which is not always the case when it comes to dolls. But even if you were to lose everything not, like, directly attached to her, she would still be a very cute doll. I don't get that she has pockets right there. Like, it's very bizarre that she's got pockets in her fins and a buckle down here and a zipper in her fin, and then her fin is hollow, which is really weird. But she is very pretty. I don't think... Really, I don't like to give dolls negative reviews, but MGA kind of missed the mark on this. And I think a lot of the reason people were mad about these initially on Instagram was that they weren't articulated enough. But this is very much in proportion to Monster High. So I think you would probably be able to swap these heads onto a Monster High body. Like, let me see. I've got some Monster High dolls pretty close at hand. Let me see. So, like, this is the proportion of a Monster High. They're slightly larger than Monster High. Like, so I mean, it's the same length. If you count the fins or the fins beginning past the feet, it's the same height. And those heads are roughly the same size. So I think Monster High bodies would probably be your best go around for a rebody. The only problem is going to be matching skin tones. So you might be better off with Ever After High, which is a little harder to come by, especially complete. But the Monster Highs are doing the Cree Productions, so you'll be able to find Monster High in stores again here in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. I know they are showing up on Instagram pretty frequently right now. So those are probably going to be your best bet as far as rebodies go, because these are smaller than Bratz and smaller than OMG dolls and Rainbow High dolls. So Monster High is actually going to be your best bet as far as the same production, or not production, the same sizes. Sorry, I do say like a lot, and it does kind of sound like I'm making a weird noise. It's just kind of like my natural reverberations. I'm not actually burping or anything like that. I did get a comment like that on one of my last videos, and I'm like, sorry, it's just kind of my involuntary noise that I make when I can't think. So, these are very cool. I don't think they're worth 36, especially when the tail is just a gimmick. Like, really, it doesn't really function as a stand very well. Like, kinda right there, like, but she's pitched forward when you do that. So I mean, as a stand, but like, and these don't work very well as far as outfits, just because this gives me like a Bella Parker vibe from Rainbow High, but then her accessories don't match that. The accessories are giving like girls want to have fun Cyndi Lauper kind of vibes. So I don't know. But she's pretty close to a Claudine. A Claudine Monster High skin tone at least. So she should be relatively easy to rebody. The paler skin dolls are gonna probably not be as easy. You're gonna have to repaint if you want to rebody them. But they're very cute. I mean, they've got a ton of hair. Like, that is, that is 11-inch hair, which is great for mermaids, but also, like, if you put this doll in water, you're never getting that hairstyle to go back to the way it was. Just FYI. So, let's take a closer look at her accessories. I am just going to, like, set her off to the back now. And we're just going to look at her accessories. So, here is our little shrug that we saw earlier. It is in a light blue. It does have open armholes. Should go on most dolls. We have our little bikini top. This is again going to fit Monster High, maybe Rainbow High, but probably not because it is so much thinner. And of course, we've got our little gloves that are actually, I think these are actually better than regular like doll gloves. I would rather see more like this done because you don't necessarily mess with the fingers as much this way, but still not great. Again, the doll accessories like the necklace and the earrings that we looked at are going to be universal. We have our mermaid belt. This actually has room to go around a lot more dolls, I think, because it's just like a stretch one. So like you can stretch it around her hips or get it a little tighter if you want to use a heat gun. And then there is this, which is like the mermaid fin kind of thing. It's very weird. It's like a little belt, kind of. But I'm sure you could find some uses for this in other dolls. And again, the purse is, I don't know, it's weirdly shaped. It's weirdly shaped. It doesn't open. I would count this as like a novelty purse, I guess. So I don't love novelty purses. But it's very cool. Like, the doll is quality. But it's just off of the mark as far as what I think is worth it for what they were charging. Now, if these dolls MSRP'd for 20, yeah, that's fine. But at 36, which is the same price as Rainbow High, and we don't get articulation on the what essentially should be the knees, is kind of ridiculous. And the fact that there's no other accessory pieces included. Like, this whole section of the box is nothing. There's nothing hidden in here for you to, like, find. There's no surprises or anything like that. So, I mean, you get earrings, you get a necklace, you get a purse. So 4 accessories and 2 to 3 fashion pieces. So, I mean, just really not much. So not enough for the fact that the color change is the gimmick. Like, but again, they're very pretty dolls. Like, I would take these heads and put them on Live dolls or on to Project MC Squared. Yes, that's the other one. That's the one I was thinking of earlier, people. Project MC Squared. So I am going to open up these other 3, and hopefully we can get them out of the boxes a little bit faster. Because, yeah. Because there is a lot to talk about with these dolls. But it does not look like I get a ton of choice when it comes to ripping these things open. Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. Okay. So here she is out of the box. I did that messy. This is Kashiko. She is a trendsetter who loves to glisten. Here is her UPN, if anybody wants it. Again, these dolls are put out by MGA, so they're going to be everywhere pretty much. So we are going to try our best to get this one out quickly. So here's our little purse. Again, it doesn't open or anything. It has a cup. It has a little zipper detailing on the back. It's got a cloud on the front. I don't know why a cloud for a mermaid, but you know, that's fine. At least it's not seashells. Again, a ton of staples here. Again, through certain parts, because, I don't know, MGA hates us? Why would they put them through the hair? Like, why? What world does this make sense? Like, how are you supposed to get these off without screwing up the hairstyles? And it's not just one either on this doll. There's like 4 of them at least. All these ones that I'm clipping right now went through the hair. Look, here's another one right here. So much hair on these dolls. And it is handicapping them. Handicapping their opening. This is already the 3rd one I'm snipping for this little braid. Like, what in the world possessed MGA to do this to us? Like, que ridiculoso. And now I gotta do this side. Dang it. That was a little bit easier. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, there was one more on this stupid ponytail, or this stupid braid. Okay. So she's out. She's very cute. Again, I'm not loving the fact that all of these braids had plastic through them. Because now the hairstyle does not really look good. Like, half the time they would have saved the frustration of doing all of that. And, God, oh my gee. There is another staple that's holding her jacket closed. Really? There were like 15 staples on here at least. And I didn't even go through the back. I just went through the front on this one, which normally I don't do. So, as you can see, we've got our little whatchamacallit again. Our freaking weirdest way to hold a doll in the box. And I can't really pull it out on this one, of course. I don't want to have to take her top. I don't want to, well, I may have to just take her top half off. Okay, again, there's the fin part. We're gonna do what we can to kind of loosen this, I guess. I'm sorry, but this should not be, there we go. It should not be required to literally bisect your doll to take the, take part of the packing off. So here is the doll without everything, without all of her staples and packaging. She's very cute. She again has a color change. She is Kashiko. She's got some pretty cool earrings that are kind of in the way though with her jacket. We're going to take a little bit closer look at these earrings because I like them. They have a little dangly crystal inside of them that is free floating, so it's not just one mold. I appreciate the complexity of that actual piece. In addition to this necklace, which is giving very much Atlantis vibes with these little dangles. I don't love that they're not the same color as our earrings were. Like, I feel like these should have matched, but that's okay. It does match the colors in the tail, like it's green and pink, but it's just not perfect. Again, our hands come off. We have this puffy coat jacket, which has a tighter upper arm right here, so that is going to limit the amount of dolls that'll fit through there most likely. But you're going to be good on Rainbow High, you're going to be good on LOL. You should be good on Barbie, but not necessarily. There could be, because I know Curvy Barbie has thicker upper arms, and sometimes so does Tall. But this is a very cute jacket piece. Like, I would style this with something. I don't love how wrinkled it is because of how tiny her torso is and how big this jacket is, though. But still very cute. And then here is the little top that's on underneath. Just a little ruffle. There's a little bit of like a glitter lace overlay. It does have some straps up here. Again, we have our little bralette that is done underneath there. And that is it for the accessories. So, I mean, you get the tail. So I feel like we actually got more accessories with the last one. So she's only got the jacket, the shirt, her earrings, and her necklace with her purse. So 5 accessories total on this doll. Like, that's on this doll that is $36 retail. that seems ridiculously low priced. Like, there should have been, like, at least some bracelets or something, or another belt type thing. This one, I honestly, if I realized how much was in her, I should have waited till she hit 15 at least. But, I mean, she's very pretty. And she can actually arch her back a little bit more, which is nice. So, I mean, she could kind of do the little mermaid pose. But, I mean, really not entirely. Like, if she were to go like that, she can't look up. You know what I mean? Like, that's as high as her face is getting. So you'd have to elevate her kind of like that to do, like, the classic little mermaid pose. But I do like her hairstyle, because it's half boxer braid and half, oh gosh, what are these called? Like poofs, I think? Poofs or palms? A little bit. And there's not a ton of gel in her hair, which is nice. But her hair texture is very much, it's not soft. It feels more like yarn, so I would worry about getting this hair wet to the point that I don't think I would. And this is a doll that's kind of designed to be wet. But let me show you guys how her tail works. See if her tail stands her up a little bit better. So hers stands a little bit better. That's nice. She seems pretty stable. But I don't know. These dolls are not instilling me with a ton of confidence in where MGA's design team is going. Because this is their most recent doll line that they have launched, as far as I'm aware, that's a unique property. So, I mean, $36, and we got a color change fin. No, ma'am. No, thank you. So, we're going to move on to the next one, because that's all there is to the doll, really. Which is kind of upsetting. So, this one we have is Harmonique. She's a pop star, performer, no spotlights ever enough. I don't know really why. That's a compliment. That doesn't seem like a compliment. But we're going to do our best to get her out of here. Now, these boxes don't open pretty when you're trying to do them quickly. If you want to do them pretty, it takes you a hot minute to do it. Like, we did it for the first one pretty, and it still didn't actually wind up being very pretty. So these are not really, like, I feel like these are not influencer ready as far as doll openings or anything like that. But, sorry about that. She is out of the box. And, yeah, again, there's nothing in the bottom of those. Oh, but let me show you her UPC for anybody who wants it. This is Harmonique's UPC. Now, she is giving kind of the most, I feel like. Like, she is very pretty. She's very pop star. She has the one ponytail, which is nice. She's got these little tendrils, which is fine. She's got kind of a very, like, basic bag. Like, this is a briefcase, essentially, with, like, a little shell handle, which is not super obvious. even when you put it down. And I'm seeing a lot of accessories. So we are going to try to cut through this quicker. But again, $36 retail. I paid $20. I kind of wish I'd waited till they hit 15. But que sera, sera. We do have, again, lots of these staples holding her hair in place. But once we get the hair out, it's really not that bad. I think she's so far the quickest open that we've had. So here's her purse, which is more like a briefcase. Again, you can put these little shells down so they don't have to stand up, so it looks more like it's one with the purse. So not a bad purse. I'll give them that. That one is better. We do have another one of those irritating paper ropes that's holding our fin on, which is never good, or so far has not been good. Okay, so here she is. Okay, I'm not sure how this is supposed to look, but I'm feeling like it's a little bit odd. It's giving like a little bit like apocalyptic fanny pack kind of vibe on here. But, oh, and her tendril is held on to her hand for some god-awful reason. I don't know why. Seems like a mistake. But we can just take her hand off, which we're going to have to do anyway to get her shirt off in a second. But she is very pretty with her vibrant pink hair and her bright blue eyes. She's pretty close to a Cleo Denial body color, so if you have extra Cleos... Oh no, Cleo, the condensation. Oh no. Sorry, I spent too much time on TikTok. But she's very pretty. She does have this little like Madonna headset, and the hair is giving Madonna with her boob cannon look. And these are like rubber bands that are on top of rubber bands. These aren't hard. So like they're not rings, really. This one is a ring. And that's fine. And then her headset, it looks like it's held on with some rubber bands. So that's kind of nice. I think I would probably just leave that on. I don't know if I really have a use for that on other dolls, because this doll is a big head doll, but not a super big head doll. So let me show you how this part comes off. It does have two little Velcros. So we've got our weird little thing, because see how it's sewn on? I'm not sure how it's actually supposed to lay. It's like it's supposed to lay underneath, kind of like a draped effect, but it's giving like holographic bondage gear a little bit. So, very cool. I think this might work on a Ken doll. I don't know. Let's see what that would look like on a Ken doll. Let me grab one of my Council of Ken. Sean to the rescue. So... So yes, that does work on a Ken doll. The little strap on the leg is a little bit long, a little bit wide, but honestly, you could work with that. I don't hate the way that looks with those little boxer briefs. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, I'm here for that. I've got some ball chain necklaces to match that kind of vibe. But that's one of our accessories. And then we have our belt right here. And this is like a, very much like a harness belt. Or like a D-link almost, but it's not as functional as a D-link. So it's like a pseudo chainmail kind of connection. So that's kind of cool. And then we have our corset. So that's kind of nice. Holographic. These are not just different holographic, these are actual gems that are on there. Like actual little rhinestones. So far we've already pulled 3 pieces off. So we do have her shirt, which we're going to have to take her hands off to take it off because it is a long sleeve shirt. But we have a surprise underneath. And that is that her arm is molded, of all things. This is not a accessory. This is literally molded onto her arm. Like, that doesn't come off. That's part of her arm. That's unfortunate. But, que sera, sera, right? These are also molded rings that are on there. So far, she's the only one to have anything like that on her hands. And then we have her earrings, which are like little shell pearl swirls. So that's kind of cute. And they're white, which is basic. And she does have a little heart choker. So again, very bondage gear. But I do love her prismatic tail. And we're gonna take her torso off so we can take this whatchamacallit off, and I'm gonna not use the one that cuts. Okay, there, we got that out finally. Okay, so it is weird that these paper parts really only like to come out after you've taken the doll off, but again, pretty decent back bend on this one. I'm not going to take her headpiece off, like her microphone, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if we count this first hair ring that's actually plastic. So 7 accessories on her. So much better than the last one that we had, which was 4. Oh, 8, because we got to include her shirt. Oh, 9 with the purse. So I think she's the best deal so far that we've encountered. So the prismatic tail one is, I think, the best deal so far. And then she does stand up on her tail. She's pretty stable on that. So that's nice. So yeah, okay. I think this one is the best so far that I've gotten. Because we've gotten a decent amount of pieces. They're all coordinated. And they are, you know, worth it. The only thing I'm not happy about is that those rings on her hair are rubber bands instead of actual plastic rings like the top one. And that her arm accessories are molded on. just because that pink makes it a little harder to put everything else on her if you want to swap the bodies. But, you know. So the last one that we have is this gal. Now, she is looking very fierce. She does come with a guitar instead of a purse, it looks like. So that's kind of cool. Not counting a ton of accessories, but those necklaces might be individual, I'm not sure. But she's got very much like a punk rock aesthetic. And this is Riviera. Rocks out in the deep blue. And then here is her UPC for anybody who wants her. And she does have like the most fun hair, I think. Just because, like, she does. She has the most fun. Why is this not in the right spot? Okay. I'm gonna try to get all these off. So we can get her out in a reasonable time. Alright, so I think the best way to get these out is to really just not give a fuck about how you're supposed to open them and just rip. But here she is out of the box. You can see, very cool. This guitar is pretty well molded. We do have another one of these little like chain link loop belts. We do have another molded hand that's going to be unique. And it does look like at least 2 of these are separate. And she's got some safety pin earrings that have like an ear cuff. Now this is not accessories, this is braids that are rooted, which is kind of nice. But let's start to cut her out, yeah? Okay. All right, yo. We've got another hidden rubber band under there. Okay. Google that. And we're gonna try to get this one out the way. Okay. So here is our guitar. It does have a strap, so that's nice. It's a nice clear strap too. Pretty well molded, except for the fact that the back is kind of just hollow. But it looks all right. I'm not loving how like half of her hair is held captive under this little piece of plastic, though. But we missed a thing holding her arm. Okay. See what I mean on this? Like, that's unfortunate. Because there's another one. It's holding her hair right there. Like, what? Why? Why is this done like this? Okay, that's not helpful, MTA. We are not amused. She's got a ton of hair. And half of it was trapped under there. So lots of curls. Feels nice and soft, though, once you get it out. She does have a little bit of a braid situation going on up there. I feel like part of this needs to be pulled a little tighter because of the fact that we had to yank her out of the box like that. Again, these earrings are too much for what they styled her in because they don't even hang right with her jacket on. But let's take a look at the pieces. So we've got this belt, which has got the metal. It's very cute. It is designed to sit higher on the waist, so this one won't work on a Ken doll, unfortunately. But it'll maybe be a necklace. I don't know. I could maybe work that as an actual harness. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll look. We'll see. And then we have to take our hands off. So this is the first hand. The second. This jacket is very much has a lot going on. And I dropped her hands, unfortunately, because they got knocked over by her stupid tail. There it is. Okay. So there is her hands again. And she's got a lot of hair that's already kind of like falling around. But as you can see, we've got another one where the arm details are molded on. This is not a cuff that comes off. Oh, I didn't mean to put that back on just yet because I want to take her shirt off. So this is kind of cool. I'm going to put those further up so they don't get knocked off. But look, like her necklaces are sitting above her. Sitting above her shirt. Her earrings aren't even really designed to lay directly flat. So I don't know. So these I feel like would have been better on a doll whose hair was pulled back from her face, like really well, because these were already getting caught in her hair. So only two of these are separate. We have like a little like ball chain knot necklace and then like a safety pin necklace. Again, they're cute, very punk rock. Her hair is everywhere. But she's got a very pretty face. Like, I love the face on this one. She does have glitter, which I don't love because it's actually rough to the touch right there. But, you know, we do what we do. So, she does have her little bralette on, like that. We're going to look at the shirt a little closer. So it does say Mermaidz, so in like an AC/DC kind of vibe. MRMD. So that's a cute little homage to AC/DC, which is just regular rock, not punk rock, but it's fine. But we are going to pop her torso off to get that stupid rope out of here. Okay, so the rope is out now, thankfully. And then there she is, right there. Her hair is too much. Like, there's too much hair to be this length on this doll, because this doll sits so far forward with her tail. Like, I mean, you could maybe do it like that, but that doesn't even really stand up like that. Like, her tail goes back a lot further and comes forward a lot further. To where, like, yes, she does stand, but that's how far she's pitching forward. Like, here is, you know, straight, and she is at, like, a 30-degree angle leaning forward. At least a 30-degree angle. But she's got cool accessories, you know? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 accessories total. So not bad. Not really any of them fit together, though, is the problem. Like, the necklaces didn't fit on the shirt. The earrings didn't work with the jacket. This works with her. Like, I could leave this on all the time without any issue. I have no idea how you're supposed to get her guitar to stay where it's supposed to with this hair, other than you're going to have to take this off the little peg. And it's not really easy to do that because neither of these sides are cut. So you have to stretch it. But yeah, so I mean, that's what you get for those. Let me put her hands back on so I don't lose them. She is going to be probably an apple white skin tone for Ever After High. I can't think of anybody she would match in Monster High, because she is like a very peaches and cream kind of white, which is not very Monster High. But I think she would match Apple White or one of the other ones. So these are our 4 girls that we have. They're very cute. Notice how this one feels like she's falling. So I don't love the tail stand feature, because it just doesn't really work that well. Like, I mean, they are standing. I will give MGA that, is they are standing. The problem is they're not standing well enough, in my opinion. Like, they could have taken the extra step and included a stand and given us, you know, better articulated tails or something like that. But I really do like this jacket. I don't know if I showed this jacket off. So it's got some spikes on it. It's got a belt with an actual buckle. I could see myself styling this onto a Rainbow High or a Shadow High doll. Like, this is very cute. So I think the biggest pluses out of this have been the necklaces and earrings and the jackets. I do like this guitar because I always love to have doll instruments. But a lot of this stuff is going to be specifically sized to them, which is unfortunate, because most of the tops are not going to fit any other doll types except for Monster High, because they are smaller. So, you know, it's kind of in that spot where you go, is it, you know, is there anything that you can take these dolls and really improve upon them. My notes on this are going to be: 1, give us a stand. 2, if there's a second series of these, articulate the tails. 3, get rid of those paper ropes that go through the freaking fin. Like, that's not helpful for anybody. You shouldn't have to disassemble your doll to remove packaging. And 3rd, don't mold things onto the arms. It just looks weird. It's giving Hasbro, is what it's giving. And 5, never do this hair again. I appreciate the diversity of hair textures, but this hair is a mess. Like, it was a pain in the butt to get out. There's too much hair on this doll to go anywhere near the water. Like, you can't really brush it off to the side. You'd have to behead this doll to do the color change feature. I do want to show the color change features for these, so I am going to grab a thing of, I think it's going to be cold water is what you need. Let me see. So I'm guessing cold water is the way to do it for the first time, and then you use hot water to change it back. So let me grab a jug with some ice cubes. Okay, y'all, so I think this should work, this cup that I got. Hopefully. We're going to start with what I think is going to be the easiest to fit in there. Yeah, maybe not. Dang it. Just barely. I could always dunk it from the other way. Okay. So what we're going to do is go this way and see what it does. So as you can see, it does get slightly darker. Not really a huge, like, oh my gosh, color change. But it's kind of cool. So it does have a color change on the fin also. But again, it's not a huge, like, oh my gosh kind of thing. It doesn't even look like the back of these changes. And my gripping it is enough to turn it back. So that's not a great sign. So we're just gonna dry this off. But, I mean, so it does have some color change feature, but it's not great as far as what it does. Like, the back didn't even bother changing. Look at that. The color change only happens on the front, not the back. Like, what? They couldn't use color change paint on the entire thing? That's a little crazy. That makes no sense. And then as soon as you touch it, your doll's going back to the hot color. So, I don't know. It is not it's not a great mechanism. So I don't even like the gimmick on these. Because, like, how is that supposed to be helpful? Let's see, is this one gonna be narrow enough to go in there? Yeah, kinda. Not really. So this is just barely not tall enough. Or not wide enough. Which sucks because it's the only, like, wide glass one that I have. So let's see what this one does. So this one doesn't even really do anything. Like, what? Like, that one has, like, 0 color change to it. Like, it's very bizarre. So, that's upsetting, because this is the coolest looking one. But, I don't know. These are just not hitting. Like, yeah, and the others aren't going to fit in my, whatchamacallit, in my cup. So I'm not even going to bother trying to show those because these have been very lackluster. So far, they've just gotten darker. They're not really a color change. They're a shade change. Kinda. Like what? that was kind of a letdown. I don't even think I should really have bothered getting the cup. But it's a yeah, these dolls are way overpriced for what they are. I appreciate the attempt. I do like how they gave us new forms of articulation. That is nice. But if they were going to charge us $36, they should have also included a pair of legs that they slipped into, or articulation on the fins at the very least, because these dolls just don't hit like they're supposed to. Not at that price point. Their color change barely works. So, MGA, this was this was something. This is not rainbow high quality, MGA, and you're charging rainbow high prices for this. So, maybe leave this kind of thing for Hasbro, I think. Alright, y'all. So I'm not going to bother getting the last one for this set just because it's not worth it. Because these tails don't really work, and I don't like the heads enough to really bother trying to keep them. But if I do keep them, they're going on Monster High Bodies or Ever After High Bodies. It just depends. So if I do that, I may swap them on, may throw them up on Instagram, and we'll see what they look like that. So if you guys have any questions about these, leave them in the comments. This turned out to be a more negative review than I wanted to. Like, I did spend like $80 total on all of this, so I was hoping they were going to be good. They really didn't wind up being very good, though, which is kind of upsetting for me. Because, like, I still spent $20 each on these. So I think I will have to rebody them to at least salvage the heads. Because, like, yeah. Now, I may do some experimentation and see if I can pull just the tails off and see what those look like. Because, I mean, I know there's a joint in there that they're in, but I don't know if it's just like a ball joint at the bottom of that hip area to where they can come off. So let's see, what's my least favorite tail? this one. This one is my least favorite tail. So let's see. And she's the easiest if I was going to rebody her, because I know she matches like Claudine. So let's see. How do you pop this out? Okay. So I'm just kind of trying my best to just kind of work it out. Okay. So that's how it comes out at the bottom. So it is just like another one of those ball joints. So you can swap the tails. So like this whole part right here is one. So I mean, if you were going to make her into like a centaur, she would be kind of a cool vibe for that. Or like a gorgon, if you were going to throw these onto different bodies. But these are very, like, this is a cool system to have, but you'd have to design some legs around this, or at the very least some leg joints to work with like the Create a Monster or the Bratzillas Create a Witch dolls, to where you could throw some legs on the bottom of these. So your best bet is to kind of work one of the corners out of the tail to where you could kind of just like pop it out, because it doesn't break anything by taking these out. But you can break them if you are not careful. I actually think it looks kind of cool, just like this. I don't know why, but it's giving like weird Greek statue. And she looks kind of fierce like this, I'm not gonna lie. If you take the mermaid tail away, there's something ethereal about this form. I don't know. It's bizarre. But, so that's how you do it. She is a hard head doll, so if you are going to take this off, I'm not sure what this head joint looks like, and I don't really want to take it off right at this moment. I am tempted to show you how many pieces I can come apart into, but no, not right now. I'll include it on Instagram if I rebody them. But this is what the tails look like. So let's see. Let's see what this one looked like. So that one's kind of a color change. But again, it doesn't change through the entire thing. Like this part up here and the back do not color change. But it does color change to blue, so that's kind of cool. These tails are slightly hollow, so you are going to wind up with water inside there. And again, look at how easy that goes away. All I did was put my thumb there, and the color fades. So, again, not a huge fan of this color change. I would have appreciated it being actually like hot water color change, or at least just included onto the back of the tail. But I don't know. It's very bizarre. So these tails do come off, so you can swap them, which is kind of cool, but also kind of very random. So we're going to do the rest of those because I don't want to store them like this. So again, like I was saying, you work one of these out and then you just kind of pop against it. Like that. And again, I did have some water in there from when I tested it. But very cool. And then we have our little part that we just pop right back onto our torso. And there she is, number 2, just like that. And here's our 2 tails. And again, you would just pop those back in. They're the same pieces. So kind of cool. We're going to do all of them, so I'm going to show you. So you're going to get to see this 3 times because I did the first one off camera. So like I said, you work this part out, and then you just try to ever so gently pop it off, just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, do kind of hold it firm because it will try to crack here at these seams if you're not careful. But it's very quick once you get the hang of it. And you just pop your doll on like that. Bada bing, bada boom. And our last one right here is fine and dandy. Now you don't necessarily have to take the torso off first. I prefer to do that just because it's less to work with. But again, look, we just twist it to the side and pop like that. Bada bing, bada boom. And we just pop our torso back on. And there they are, ready for storage or customization. You could probably take these little ball joints and make a mold out of them to make new ones. Like if you were to, I would suggest filling this with sand first so you don't pour the resin all into the bottom of that or the mold material. But if you were to take a mold of this area, you could probably make some pretty cool things around it. If you wanted to make like centaurs or things like that. But this, I think, is going to be your best bet for making like centaur girls. If you wanted to just cut the necks off of horses and put them on like that and then mold around it instead of taking a doll with legs and screwing them up like that, because this is a good way around that, because these tails are not ideal. So yeah, so it's very easy to take those tails off once you do it like the first time. Once you get over the fear of breaking them and realize they are designed to be removed, they're very easy to take on and off. And so we do have our other tails now. So, you know, it's kind of cool. That's a cool feature that's not really intended, but these could be kind of cool customization doll bodies. But at that price point, it is a little high for a customization doll. But if you catch them for cheap, you know, you can take these tops and just take them off with acetone, most likely, or rubbing alcohol. And then you've got a free body to do what you want. You make them gorgons, you can make them better mermaids if you wanted to build your own tails. Like, there is an Etsy seller that does articulated monster high, create a monster tails that would probably work perfectly with this. And they have like 8 joints, and I think they're 3D printed. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but I'm sure if you Google monster, or if you search in Etsy Monster High Mermaids, that this would probably work. Maybe reach out to her and say, hey, if I send you my this lower torso part, could you mold it to fit there or work it? If she hasn't seen these yet, because this is a very cool way to do better mermaids. So that is the end of the review. It is coming up on an hour and a half, and I'm sorry it took so long, but they're a little bit difficult to get out of the boxes. And then I wanted to really go into it with all of the features and things. So if you guys have any questions on these now, I hope I showed you guys enough times to how to get the tails off and how to take the torsos off. The heads feel like they're gonna just have like neck joints, so be careful if you do remove the heads. Remember, they are hard heads, so you have to heat them up first. These are not going to be soft no matter how long they've been sitting at room temperature or anything like that. These are more akin to the Rainbow High heads that are hard. So I hope that answers any questions you guys had on these, or whether or not you wanted to get them or anything like that. So thanks for watching, and as always, follow along for some more fun unboxings. Goodbye from the little freak show that's going on right here. Be good, y'all.